Hey everyone, this is Different Spectrums Podcast, and I'm your host, Dr. Nazir Zerka, go by Dr. Naz, licensed clinical therapist, social worker, group therapist, public speaker, and all that other crazy shit. I am humbly and excited to bring you onto the podcast to listen to us. We've got tons of pods. You can go back and look at our catalog with tons of beautiful guests, awesome guests, intelligent guests, magnificent people. Go check those out. But moving forward, I will be your host and only host, and really excited to bring you a new era of more personable, more self-help, more things to educate and bring to life the characters, movies, and shows in which we were originally supposed to do. So much appreciation for you guys following, listening, paying attention. Please like, share, so we can spread the word, so folks like me that are very authentic can get more clicks, likes, and just more people to listen and hear. I also want to bring attention to the intro, all the resources that we have in the link tree. Please go check those out. Remember, tons of free worksheets for you, friends, other therapists. There's assessments for ADHD, autism, anxiety. There's couples related stuff. There's coloring related stuff. It's all free. And plus I have a massive list of athletes, for those of you that love sports, of folks that have mental health related issues that have been collecting that. It's over 60 pages long. And I've been doing it for about 6 or 7 years now. So much appreciation, much love. And thank you for rocking with me. Enjoy the show, enjoy our guest, or just enjoy me running my mouth about whatever we're talking about today. Much love, y'all. And remember to take care of yourselves. And if you don't, we'll get you there. We'll get you there, homie. Peace. Hey there. So this is the official trigger warning for today's podcast. We are doing the Iron Claw. So those of you that are at work or in a sensitive place, I would not watch this. There's going to be a lot of talk about death, suicide, trauma. It is a very tough clips to watch. So just fair warning, make sure you're in a good mental place to watch this. It is very sad. The talk that I'm having is not the best and funnest talk about a lot of different things, about life, sadness, suicidality, but survivor's guilt. So just a heads up, huge trigger warning before you get into this podcast. Okay. Thank you. Peace.
We have our own ranch. Everyone can come live with us, all my brothers, their families.
Okay. You know, you have oldest brother syndrome. Yeah, you want to take care of everyone.
Maybe. I'm not the oldest, though. When I was 5, my big brother, Jack Jr., he died.
Oh my God, Kevin, I'm so sorry. I had no idea.
That's all right. And I don't really think about it. Not anymore.
What was that like?
I don't know. It was strange. As a kid, he just wasn't there to play with one day. So I'm not the oldest. I must have the second oldest brother syndrome.
I'm so sorry.
It's a part of the family curse. Yes.
What's that?
Oh, I'm just joking. Well, you never heard of the curse of the Von Erichs?
No.
Really?
No.
Oh, it's a silly story. My dad changed his last name to Von Erich, which was my grandma's last name. And I don't know, I guess her family had all sorts of tragedy. So when my brother died, people started saying that it was his curse. But I don't believe in any of that. I know it was all just bad luck.
Well, I don't believe in curses, and I don't believe in luck. I think we make our own luck.
You're lucky then.
Take those sunglasses off. All of you. No hiding. And I don't want to see any tears. The Lord decided it was time for David to move on. We have to accept that. In his 25 years, in his 75 years, never got a chance.
All we can do now is wait and pray he pulls through. I'm very sorry.
Why is this happening to us? Why does it just keep happening?
Okay, baby. Stay with me, okay?
But it keeps happening. It's taken over.
It was a terrible accident. Nothing more.
You shouldn't have even been in the ring.
It is not your fault. If you want to blame someone, you blame your father. But it is not your fault.
I should have stopped him.
No. No, what could you do, Kevin? There's no getting through to that man. Are you coming home tonight?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I know how painful this is. I do. And I'm trying to be patient. But this doesn't work for me.
I know.
So just come home. All right, just be with us. Hey.
I don't want him to get it. I don't want you guys to catch it.
Kevin, you can't be serious.
I'm sorry.
Just
I'm sorry.
come home.
I can't. Okay. Hello.
Oh, hey. Good. You still up?
Yeah, I'm up. Where are you?
I'm in some hotel in Dallas.
Why didn't you go home? You okay?
Gary.
Oh, I'm scared, man. Oh, I'm scared. I'm out of control.
You gotta get some help.
I'm in pain. I'm in pain all the time. I'm fucking deformed. It takes too much to hide it.
It doesn't show in the ring.
They're not giving me a new contract. Well, they got me in house shows from now on. They don't want me anymore. Well, I got nowhere to go. I got no one.
Well, where's Tanya?
Who?
Tanya.
And that wasn't nothing. I need someone. I need family.
Just come here. Stay with us.
No, I can't. I can't let your boy see me like this.
Well, then let's get breakfast somewhere.
Or meet me home. Mom can make us pancakes.
Yeah, I want it on the end.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't mean that.
I do.
I'm fucking cursed. I want to die.
How are you gonna say that to me? After everything.
It's in me now. It's got a hold of me.
Kiri, just tell me where you are, and I'll come and get you.
okay. I'm heading out to do some work.
Where's Mom?
Sleeping.
Hey, I just talked to Carrie. He's in a pretty bad state. I'm worried about him. I'm gonna come out there. We need to figure out how to help him, okay?
You boys need to work it out between yourselves.
Just look out for him, okay, Dad? I'll be there soon.
I don't know what's on the other side, but I can't be here anymore. Tonight I walk with my brothers. Hey!
Brother,
Hey, brothers!
here he is.
Hey, Mikey. World champion of the afterlife, huh?
Finally.
Hey, where's Jack Jr.? Must be my oldest brother, Jackie. So nice to meet you.
I love you, Carrie.
Marshall! Oh. Marshall! Oh. You okay, Dad?
Lee, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, boys. You shouldn't see me like this. Man doesn't cry. I'm sorry, boys.
It's okay, Dad. You can cry. Everyone cries. Yeah, what are you talking about? You cry all the time. Do you think you know why you're sad?
Well, I guess it's because I used to be a brother. And, now I'm not a brother anymore.
Oh, well. We'll be your brothers, Dad. Yeah, Dad. We'll be your brothers.
Thanks, boys. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Thank you, boys.
Hey everyone, we're back and we just watched some scenes. I'm not really sure which ones we fully are going to get to see because I might be some copyright issues based on the folks that own and produce that. So hopefully we get to see a good amount of those scenes. I know that I want to get to a couple of them. This is your official trigger warning once again, because the conversation we're going to have is very deep and there'll be a trigger warning, obviously, you saw earlier. And there's a lot of mental health topics and issues that are in this. We are not going to get into all of them. We're looking at depression, suicide, survivor's guilt, generational trauma, hypermasculinity, emotional abuse. There's just too much to get to cover in this movie, in this family. And the movie doesn't even cover one of the other brothers, Chris, that also committed suicide. So we're looking at all these brothers. One lives. It's intense. So we're going to try to hit multiple different things. I just got done rewatching it and editing the scenes. And yes, I was devastatingly crying. And we're going to see how this podcast goes. I have no full prediction on what the fuck I'm about to do and talk about, but I have a general basis. So this will be a sadder one. I'm going to do my best to navigate this and to support some folks and to share some of my own stories as well too. But to give a synopsis of what's going on before we do that is, remember, we're always doing giveaways. Even though it's a sad movie, we're still giving giveaways. So I want you to comment Claw. Well, I probably want you to comment Iron Claw. Comment Iron Claw, tag 2 people. And whatever your favorite WWE wrestler is, or if you have someone that likes that type of stuff, then I will 3D print something for that resembles that character. I will 3D print that, and then I will mail that out to you sometime in July. Or maybe the month after. We'll see in August. It just depends on like how long I want this to stew for people to comment on it. So maybe August. Comment Iron Claw, tag 2 people, and then I'll select the winner. Then you'll choose what type of wrestler that you want. Doesn't matter. And then I will 3D print some really cool shit and I'll send it out to you. All right. So let's do a quick synopsis. The Iron Claw follows this family called the Von Erichs. As you've seen in the movie, that's the last name, the father's name. He also took it from his mother, and it turns out that they had a supposed curse because there was a lot of tragedy. And it follows the story of the father, Fritz, and the mother, Doris. And they have this family with all these boys. They're all wrestlers. The father was a wrestler. Now they run this promotional like company. It's kind of like WWE. It's called some other shit. It's all in Texas. And through that, you're going to see that you hear in the first scene that the oldest brother passes away when he was very young. And then you will see that there's some accidents that happen throughout their careers. They have tons of injuries. You see that the one brother ends up passing away when he's about to be like famous and win the titles and all this in Japan. He passes away by some intestinal issues. And you see him throwing up in one scene. So that could have been an onset of that. Then you go to the next brother that's up. He wins the title. He gets into a tragic motorcycle accident. A lot of stuff happens. At the end of the show, you see that he takes his own life. You get the other brother that was very musical and like talented and wanted to do other things. He gets forced into wrestling more. And then he hurts his shoulder. Then he has a fever and it spikes. And then it looks like he had like a stroke or he had some cognitive disabilities now. Eventually, he's taking a bunch of medicine, and then he passes away on the farm. He did that intentionally. He took his own life. And then now the family's devastated. Now you see the other brother, like I said, because he's so disabled and crippled and ton of pain and he can't wrestle anymore, loss of identity, he takes his own life. And that leads to the ending scene in which we see Zac Efron's character, Kevin, wanting to like fight the dad and being very angry at the dad for not showing up for his kids and causing all this to happen. And so we're going to get into that. So it ends up pretty cool. Ends up nice. He ends up having this huge family himself, and then all the kids live with him. I think he had 4 kids and 16 grandchildren, and they all live with him on the ranch. And maybe that's not good. Maybe it's good. I hope to God him and his family's happy and they found some type of peace. Maybe some of you guys can do some Googling just to see if the family's still doing really good. But when this movie came out, that's what they said at the post-credit scenes. So as we look into this, I think we'll jump right into the first scene in which I wanted to show, is that you see him talking to a girlie and he ends up marrying her, and he talks about the, tragedy with his brother. And she's like, yeah, you're the eldest son and you just want to take care of everybody. You want to protect everyone. And he's like, no. I'm actually not the oldest. My brother passed away when I was 5. And then he talks about the sadness of it. Everything was different. You're just playing with your brother one day and then he's gone. And he doesn't show any real sadness because, right, these are like tough boys. And she sits down to him and then hugs him. And he embraces her. And it's lovely, quite lovely. And I thought that was just a wonderful moment to see. Is like, some people are just great, fantastic, awesome, emotional people. I don't know if that would be normal in today's society where someone would do like, they hear your story, then hug you. Maybe they would. I know I want to hug people sometimes when they tell me their tragedies. I thought that was really awesome. And you understand that there's something, there's a sadness in him, right? There's a sadness. He lost his brother. There's a sadness about things. We know that everyone is looking for the attention of the father, and they're looking to be like the golden child. All of them are looking to produce and show the father. And I've talked about this many of times in other podcasts, so I'm not going to fully get into it, but trying to win the father's love and attention. We talked about this in past episodes last few months. And all the brothers are competing for like this number 1 spot to win the title. Then we get further into the scenes and we see the one brother pass, and we see the tragedy in that. There's multiple scenes in which the father says, we don't cry. I don't want you to wear the sunglasses. No one's wearing sunglasses. We're men. I don't give a shit if he was 25 or 75. God called him. We're going to accept that. Can no one cry? Can no one be sad? Can the mother not grieve her child? Can the brothers not grieve the person that they were with for 25 years? I think it's okay to cry, my guy. I don't know what's going on with people when you can't cry. You can't have this emotional expression that's very natural, very common. Especially in a very situational concept. They're not crying all day, every day, and tweaking out, have panic attacks and being highly emotional and seen as weak and all that. But the brother just died. So you see the father's stranglehold on the family and the mother, where there's no emotional depth. There's no talking about certain things, but you continuously see Kevin pushing the others to talk, to coach them, to do better, to take care of them, to weightlift, to manage, to navigate their emotions, thoughts, and feelings. He does his best from what we see in the movie. Very much older sibling vibes. Very much. That actually give a fuck older sibling vibes. So then we pivot into like another scene, and you see the accident with, God damn it, what's the guy? It's the kid's name from, I don't have it on here. It's Carrie von Erich, right? He was supposed to be like Olympic hopeful, and then he turned wrestler, and then he suffers a motorcycle accident, dies by suicide. So you see him played by the dude from Shameless. And he's on top of the world, feels fantastic. His leg gets cut off. Now you see him in physical pain. You see the disability set in. You see him taking a lot of opiates, I would assume, and snorting them, taking them. You see him taking either cortisol injections or steroids earlier in the show. They're showing the sacrifices in which they needed to do to be the best, because that's what Pops wanted them to be. And I assume there's a lot of self-hatred in that, but he continues to go and to push himself. You see him and the brothers continuously wrestle. He can barely function, but he wants to prove it to dad. And there's a scene in there, which I may or may not show depending on time, in which the brothers are fighting outside. And he's like, you just want dad's attention to be the favorite child, right? And it's like, bro, this ain't what this is about. Zac Efron's character, Kevin, is like, calm down, bro. I'm trying to get you better. And you can see the horrible toxicity in this family. You can see the emotional abuse in this family where they're all trying to appease dad. And their entire identity is wrapped up in wrestling and what they can do for the family. Tragically, we see that the other brother, after he has the shock and stroke or whatever the fever was from a routine shoulder surgery, that he takes a lot of pills and then he passes away. He dies. And then they go on to look for him the next day. And he says, both of the brothers were saying, there's got to be something else out there for me. And I'm so sorry for this. Horrific to get something like that. A letter or a note, or just to experience the loss of someone like that. Someone that you love deeply that was taken from you because the emotional pain in which they were in. These boys weren't happy. These boys were very sad, very abused, very backed into a corner, suffocated. As many of my clients. We'll get into that soon. And as we move forward, you see that Carrie's becomes very sad in one scene, and Zac Efron's character is talking to him on the phone, and he said, hey, dude, I'm in pain, and I suck. And he's trying to navigate the situation with him. He's trying to get him to calm down. He's trying to make sure that he doesn't take his own life. I've been on those phone calls. Those phone calls are intense, and we'll get into that in a second. And it feels like he feels okay about where it's at. He calls his dad, as you see. How fucked up was that? He calls the dad, and the dad says, you two boys need to work it out. And he's like, no, dad, I need you to make sure he doesn't kill himself. No, that ain't none of my business. What do you mean it ain't your business? The fuck? And you see Kevin, Zac Efron's character. The wife is like, your dad's a piece of shit. And he's the one pushing these kids too hard. And you see him continuously try to get his brothers to calm down a little bit. And when his brother was on the phone, he's like, hey man, the curse is in me. I'm depressed. I don't want to do this no more. I don't want to live no more. And he's like, hey man, how could you say that to me? Because he's lost so many people now, Kevin. How could you say that to me? He's like, you don't understand, man. I'm fucking sad, bro. So then you think that they're going to meet the next day, and then obviously he takes his life. You see him then choke out his father because he was so angry. Like, you were supposed to protect them, you piece of shit. You didn't do nothing. All you did was hurt us and abuse us and take from us. And I thought he was going to kill him. Move on to the next scene in which I wanted to show is the afterlife. You see, sorry, I'm looking for the name. You see Carrie's character go into the supposed afterlife. And this is imagined, obviously, that when he walked into the afterlife, his leg is good. He can walk. He feels good. His body's good. He said, there's got to be something better than this. He doesn't want to be in pain anymore. Valid. And then he's on a boat. He sees his two brothers. He gives them a hug and embraces them. Might be confusing, but then he asks, hey, where's Jack Jr., which is the oldest brother that passed away very young. And then you see him there, and then they hug. Very touching, heartwarming embrace. Very spiritual for those of you that are religious or believe in the afterlife. I'm not even that related. I hope to God it's like that. No pain, happiness, joy, your family, your ancestors. And you see them embrace, and then it comes back to real life, and Kevin is just crying over his body, his brother's body. As it lays dead on the table after he carried it inside. That's the last scene. He's crying, watching his two children as they're older now, and this is a long ways away. He's then sold the company, cut his dad off, and he's just crying watching them. And he goes, "Ooh, I hate this." He goes, "I used to be a brother." The kids are like, "Why are you crying?" And the kids go, "It's okay, Dad. We can be your brothers. Like, it's okay to cry, Dad." He's like, "It's not okay to cry in front of you guys." Right? Because that's what the dad said. It's not okay to cry. And the kids are like, "Dude, we cry all the time. It's okay to cry." And then they hug. And it's a magnificent moment. Magnificent moment. Oh, I fucking hate this movie. I remember watching this movie a couple years ago. And I remember I had to pause it maybe like 3 times. I had to walk away from it from one scene. Oh, I forgot about it. The funeral scene where he so deeply feels like it's cursed. He won't even kiss his wife or his son, won't touch his son because he doesn't want him to get the curse. I had to turn it off. That was it. Everyone's like, that was it. I was like, that was it for me. Where it's fucked you up so bad that you can't even connect with your baby and the fear of it. It was too much. It was too much. After I was done crying from that, I remember he screaming in my room, and then I went to my father and I said, "I can't watch this shit anymore. It's horrible. It was horrible. It's horrible to watch this shit again. To know that it's all true. To know that it was actually worse in real life, and that they edited it to leave out the brother Chris because it was just too much. Just too much." What are we talking about today? What are we talking about today? We're talking about, I want to talk about this curse. You know, I got a lot of clients that I work with that feel like they're cursed. I guarantee you some of you feel like you're cursed. Like no matter what you do, you're going to be screwed. You've seen your family be generationally traumatized or poor or just abused, hurt in some type of way, neglected. You just seen folks not achieve what they wanted in life. And you just feel like you're cursed. You feel like as soon as you get something, it's going to be taken from you because it always has. You're really not allowed to like have good things and you feel cursed. I have clients that are scared to be with folks or in public with folks or have intimate relationships with folks emotionally, physically, because they are scared that they are going to hurt them. And not in a physical way, but that they'll be so emotionally damaged that they'll have a panic attack or spiral in front of them. Then that person will have to see it or help them and navigate it. And then they'll just be damaged because they are cursed. And it's mostly, if you think about it, anxiety, depression, and probably a lot of trauma that causes that. And then some probably hypervigilance from that trauma. And then a little bit of OCD too, right? That's like coming in there and having these intrusive thoughts and then the fixations and obsessions about it. But a lot of people feel cursed, specifically after maybe a traumatic event happens. Something happened in the life in which they feel like everything after that will be poison. They're not good enough. They're terrible. This is it. This is it. It'll never be better than this. You might as well not live. Never be better than this. What's the point? I've had people tell me that from the physical disabilities and ailments, it's too much. It's too much. There's so many medical related things that my humans have, specifically my women. There'll be like 4 or 5 different disabilities and there'll be like 5 different diagnoses. And it makes them unable to physically perform. And then because the physically disabilities, pain always there, then it takes a toll mentally. And now you have this medical trauma that also causes this psychological trauma. And it's just too much. You're frozen. Something must be better than this. So that's when people flirt with end of life. As I said, I'll never fully shame it because like somewhat makes sense, but also like don't fucking do it. And it's intense to take those phone calls. Like he took with his brother to sit in that moment. The I don't know if it. Sorry, not only am I stuffed up and I was crying. to take those phone calls is intense. I don't know if any of you had to. I'm sure many of you that have listened to this pod have other friends and humans that have been suicidal, that have contemplated a lot of things, that have shared a lot of things with you, and that you've helped them and fostered them and supported them and got them to just survive. I am deeply grateful for you existing and allowing that to happen. I'm deeply grateful for you navigating that space and holding all that weight and pressure. And you were probably young when you had to do that. As many of my clients who are neurodivergent, ADHD, autistic, they've had to care for others that were suicidal, that had attempts. I'm very grateful that I got to meet these humans that did that. And also I know that they're deeply traumatized from those situations, but also very proud that they did do that. And I've had these conversations over the last 11 years. And it's very interesting when you're in the room or on the phone and you're trying to navigate, how serious is this? We going to the emergency room? We going to the loony bin? Like, do I need to call 911 to make sure that, you have a psychological assessment that you're safe? And maybe we need to do intensive inpatient and sit there for 5, 10 days, 20 days, 72 hours, 24 hours? Do I need to make sure that you're on the right cocktail of medication to get you to calm the fuck down? Whether it be drug-induced, psychosis, just depression, like, I don't know. Well, those phone calls are intense. I said something funny. Not funny. A lot of my clients have existential issues, who are like autistic, neurodivergent. And, what's the meaning? What's the purpose of life? I fucked everything up. I'm never going to be good at anything. I lost all my hopes and dreams. It's really hard to get someone to see that they didn't, that their future's completely in front of them when all the stuff they've been building for kind of just got like shot out the window, but then they still have tons moving for them, going for them. And to be on that phone call, to maybe technically be on vacation and to take that phone call. Wild. Human's good now, but I remember I said, man, I don't even know what I've done with my life. He said, what are you talking about? I said, I don't know. What have I done? He said, Dr. Naz, you've done a lot. He said, if you don't fucking think you've done anything, what the fuck am I supposed to feel about myself? I said, He said, 30 days ago, I tried to take my own life and you stopped me. Well, that's Dr. Naz. You have done a lot. Okay. Calm the fuck down. It wasn't serious. You weren't going to do it. We can joke about that now. He said, I recorded a video. I would have been fucking devastated if that would have happened. Pivoting out of that one. So, I've also had it where I've gotten a letter or email after someone has completed taking their own life. And that was horrible. I'll never forget that moment, that day, what I was doing. And you end up having these fake conversations with yourself for like weeks and months later. You end up thinking that you can stop what just happened, but you know what already just happened because the police have confirmed what just happened. You think that maybe you can do something to stop what's going to happen. And the reason why I'm sharing this is because the few people that got these messages, I mean, it's not surprising, could no longer live with this inside of me, which is crazy. Because I, as a therapist, or Kevin, as a brother, you're around them, you see them, you talk to them, you know almost every single thing that there is. You, me, knew every single thing that there was about this person, more than anyone else. More than anyone else. And yet I didn't know one thing. Didn't know how deep the hole was. But I don't know what you don't tell me. Why do I tell you this? I don't know. I'm just fucking sad. But I know it wasn't my fault. But there was a moment in which something was off. But then things were fine in the following weeks. I also had multiple humans in this person's life to make sure they were watching over them. So you never know what someone is thinking. You never know what the brother Carrie was thinking, even though he told his brother he figured he could handle it. You never know that, which one is it? The Michael. You never know what was going on in his head, right? You didn't know that he hated it so much that he never wanted to live this life, that he takes his own life. You don't know because we don't ask. We don't ask. I do ask. I ask much more thoroughly, intently now, repetitively now. There's much more over the top, and it's annoying for a lot of my clients now. But they know why. They know why. Talking to ghosts, having these fake autistic conversations in my head was a wild time. Still have them too. Like I can change something. I wanted to bring this up because obviously Zac Efron's character deals with a lot of survivor's guilt. And so when you see people that survive a lot of these tragic events, you see folks that have that. You see folks that make it out of poor situations, survivor's guilt. Like, why were they the one that made it out? Why were they the one that got an education or it was easy for them? Why was it them? Why were they chosen? Why did his brothers catch this curse but not him? He should have. So much tragedy, he should be horrifically depressed. You see that he's in the bed sleeping multiple times. He can barely function himself. He has to isolate himself from his wife and his child. He's horribly depressed. But they didn't talk about him being suicidal. Probably was. Survivor's guilt is horrible. I know there's a lot of folks here in the States that are having survivor's guilt for folks that are in different countries, specifically the Middle East. A lot of survivor's guilt with a lot of folks. Why us? Life is so random where you're born. You're born here, and it's bad in America, but it's not as bad as over there. You're not getting slaughtered over there. You can get education, you can read, most of the time you got food, not all the time here in America. Right? There's just many more blessings, right? You got people killing themselves to get here. And so we are just so fucking lucky to be in certain circumstances. You're lucky to be born to a family that can afford food and rent. It's the luck of the draw. Horrible. Life is nothing but these randomness of like luck or bad luck. So how are my clients supposed to navigate this shit? Because they're not in control of like 90% of this shit when they're young until they're older. They're not. They don't have control of the foods that they're eating in their neighborhoods or the bullying that happens, the lack of education or resources or materials. They have no control. You're fucked based on where you're born or who you're born to. Unfair. Unfair. People pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Motherfucker, I ain't even got no boots. I ain't got no boots. How am I gonna strap it up? How? I'd like to see you make it out of this shit. I'm tough. Shut the fuck up. So, when it comes to survivor's guilt, and you see him being happy and crying with his boys, I do that shit all the time now. I'll just be sitting there crying. I'm just so happy. I can't wait until my clients have this moment when he's graduated and, got their money and they don't have to talk to a toxic ass family or whatever it is. I'm just so happy that they're going to get it. And I said, one day you're going to cry. And it's going to be horrific. I want you to email me. You might be 50. I'm still alive. Probably won't be. I'm still alive. I want you to email me. When it happens, I want you to email me. All of you listening. When you finally get to the moment when you've made it out of the horrific suffering, and you get to sit in that joy and happiness and you're just mesmerized by the things you've done, conquered, made it through, I pray that you just can sit there and enjoy it. And you'll probably be shocked that you got it, and then you'll just cry because you'll be overwhelmed. You probably think it's going to all be taken from you too, but that's a separate point. Those are my favorite moments. I have those moments a lot these days. actually probably crashing out for like all of the spring. From January until probably last month, I was probably crashing out daily. Me left to my own thoughts in a weight pit in a gym, not a good thing. So we see him crying with his boys, and he finally gets the life that he wanted, and he can remake the emotional intimacy and raise them healthily, raise them emotionally well, love them the way they're supposed to, right? Because he knows the pain in which he had. It's fantastic. 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 You know, sometimes I thought life was cursed. Or you look at the family, you look at the stuff that my mom's family went through, you see all the emotional abuse and all the horrible things in which happened, and then you see everyone, so many of them got cancer. They died. There was 9 kids, and there's like 5 of them died from cancer. Might be more. Then you look at my dad's family, and they come over here, and then my great uncle is murdered. And then my grandpa gets cancer and dies. And my father goes to prison. And all the tragic things that happened and unfolded after that, you're just cursed. Everything that you touch is cursed. So people wonder why I'm so happy all the time and like crying and devastated all the time, because you know you're cursed. And then when you finally notice that the curse is gone, maybe, you're elated. You're also deeply afraid it's all going to be taken from you. Matter of time, right? I'd always joke I'll be dead in a couple of years. My autistic ass has deja vu about that shit all the time. Dreams, nightmare, premonitions, intrusive thoughts. When I'm driving, doing other things. Graphic thoughts happen all the time. My brain just does it. I'm not really scared about it anymore. It just kind of creeps me out for like 2 seconds, and then I'm good. They happen all the time. But those are intrusive thoughts. It's the ones in fear, like actually something is going to happen. Those are the ones, or the dreams. The dreams are the ones that freak me out. I can't go back to sleep at night because I know I'm going to go back to the dream, so I'm not going to do that. So I'll just stay up. I'll just do some work and go back to sleep 3-4 hours later. And you just think that you're cursed. I think about all the different diagnoses and the things that I've been through, my clients have been through. You must be cursed if there's so much. I don't even know what to tell some of my clients. Some of you. When there's like 50 different things going on that are mostly out of their control. How do you do therapy with that? White folks or privileged folks, you would be like, get therapy. Ain't no therapy for the context I'm in, motherfucker. This isn't about irrational thoughts. This isn't about me, not believing in myself. Motherfucker, I ain't got no food. I ain't got no money. I ain't got no rent. My partner beating my ass. Right? My body betray me. My nervous system betray me. I can't get insurance because it make too much or too little. It's a million different things. And you're like, oh, nah, you're being a victim. No, motherfucker, I ain't being a victim. My clients ain't being the victims. They don't want to be a fucking victim. They don't want this body. One of my girlies was sitting on the floor once while we were talking on Zoom, and she looks into the drawer she was cleaning out, and she goes, "Is it always going to be like this? It's always going to be like this. It's always going to be this hard. It's always going to be this physically exhausting and painful. I'm always going to be in physical pain." How do I answer that? There's no answer. I can't help in that. I can only be there to listen, to support, to make sure that she doesn't die. She continues to move forward. Sprinkle some love, some jokes. Make sure that my clients handle certain conversations better, whether it be work or exams or friends, partners. I can help them with more understanding and emotional expression. But I can't stop their bodies from hurting. I can't stop your mind sometimes from playing tricks without medication, without good doctors. I can't control if you get a good doctor or not. I can't control the laws in certain states. we're going to get to it in a different movie and scene, is sometimes you feel useless. And Dr. Nas, you're being a little bitch. Well, maybe I am. Sometimes you feel useless. And I know I have tons of yous. I know my women's group just the other day, the Women of Color group. That's the best I felt in weeks. Oh, what the fuck, I'm about to cry again. It's just fantastic to support these women, but also women of color. Color. Those of you maybe white-bodied, still love you too, but there's something about helping your people. Something about helping your people. Something about being and knowing I'm the person that does it. I breathe life into people. Great feeling. Why am I telling you this? It's not survivor's guilt. We were talking about purpose this week in group. Purpose. And everyone's trying to find out what their purpose is. I've talked about glorious burden, glorious purpose. And all of us are just trying to figure it out. Is your purpose to always be destitute and destined for like this curse? Probably not. Your purpose could be a million different things at once. It could be maybe one or two things. Also, your purpose changes throughout the course of your life. And also remember, we separated in group therapy, purpose versus passion. They could be the same. They don't have to be the same. We also talked about making sure your purpose is different than like your full identity, and that your purpose isn't always attached to others. It's what you do for yourself. So it was a long, long conversation about purpose. And a lot of us were talking about our purposes. And a lot of them were tied to, the way we were raised or trauma or coping skills. How my comedy and humor making people laugh is like comes out of trauma and trying to understand and navigate the relationship, making sure I can read people better, making sure that everyone is safe by making jokes. I don't really see the point of life if I don't make people smile, to make them feel good. Because the rest of it's still boring and worthless. But to engage with a human, to breathe life into their souls, is a fantastic thing. And I love talking shit and having fun. But then I also, because we talked about it, I said it is a coping skill, though. Because the normal me is pretty stoic, pretty chill, pretty reserved. Other than the Tourette's and a few other things I got. So we were talking about this, and we were talking about their lives and what they wanted it to be now that they're adults. Some of them are older adults. And what do you want to do? And you see the Von Erich boy, he just wanted a family. Zac Efron's character just wanted his family. And he said it earlier in the movie. Obviously, they tied it in. Just want to live in a ranch and have everyone there. Emotional connection and intimacy is what he wanted. That's why those other boys died. There was no emotional connection or intimacy in that family. The father stripped them from their humanity, from their joys, from their childhood, from their creativity. Made them men, made them strong. He also killed them all. They didn't seek medical attention or services or help, didn't pursue other things. Maybe your parents or other people did this to you with your education. Who knows how they did this to you? Why is this movie important? This movie is important because it teaches you that you can break some of these generational curses. You can be the one that makes it out. You can be the one that changes things. You do not have to follow in your family's footsteps. We've been talking about family a lot in the last month. But I beg of you, what is your purpose? Is it to be subservient to someone? Is it to help others? Because you want to, not because you're forced to. Is it to have joy? Is it to create and do art? Is it to do science? Is it to read? Is it just to be kind? My clients serve their purposes all the time. Nas, what do you mean by that? Is the conversations they have with me ends up teaching me and enriches me and my soul, my heart, my thoughts, and it ends up impacting my other clients. Sometimes I'm having a hard day because the client cases were too difficult, in which they'll never know, but it's too difficult. And then the next client will crack a joke or say some funny, wild shit, or I'll go to group therapy and my identity, my soul, my spirit, my cognitions are like healed. And I tell people, you make me smile, you save a couple lives. What? If you make me smile and you enrich my soul somehow, it allows me to move forward and to heal other people. I've told this to certain individuals, friends, family members. I've told this to clients. I did this in my outreaches and programming. People that talk shit with me, they have some fun. If I get fed, I can continue to work. I'm a big boy. I work a lot. I eat a lot. You feed the beast, I'll make sure hundreds eat. I love that word. For you guys, I'm not sure if you're getting fed. Find ways to get fed. Emotionally, intellectually. It's going to be very lonely because you're going to have to make a lot of sacrifices. A lot of sacrifices. To get to where you want to be, you will have to do something different than the norm of what you're used to in your environment or your family. Very hard to do that because the world is just pulling you back. Pulling you. Misery loves company. Pulls you back. Pulls you back. People will hate you because you succeed. They will. They'll be envious. They'll be jealous. Fearful. They'll think that they're terrible because you're succeeding. Because we compare ourselves to each other. You've done it. I've seen you do it. Jokingly. You look on Instagram, social media, look what they did. And then you think immediately, maybe unconsciously, but mostly consciously, that you suck. You've done nothing. You're worthless. They look better. They do better. That's not true. You compete with yourself daily. These boys didn't have enough time to live to only compete with themselves and not this replication of what they were trying to create by their father. Never had a chance. Compete with yourself. Are you better than what you were 2 days ago, 3 days ago? Been getting a lot of good comments and feedback on Instagram lately with these reels. And one of the girlies that's been following us for years goes, Nas, life is just so fucking hard right now. They've been following us for 2 years. If you hear this, girly, I hope you're doing okay. I really do. I'm going to send you a gift. I know it's not going to help at all, but I'm going to send you a gift when I come back. It's difficult to live, to navigate it. And if you're ADHD, autistic, traumatized, don't have no, it's just too much. But you will have to, not her, but folks will have to make certain sacrifices from parties, social events, drinking, alcohol. They'll have to study more. They'll have to work more. They'll have to take care of their kid and work more. They'll have to sacrifice their bodies. They will have to neglect their bodies to like get to maybe a place one day. And God forbid if they're black or disabled or brown or disabled, because the world won't give a fuck about any of those things. And you'll have to work 10 times harder than anyone just to get a semblance of what they wanted. This isn't me shitting on white people. This is just me telling you what it is. It's exhausting. We run group therapy with the girlies, the women's of color group. And I like to use this red light, green light, yellow light thing. Green means you're good. Yellow, red means you got a lot of shit and you need to talk today. And I said, you're all yellow. You're all always yellow. Ain't no you motherfuckers ever green. So we start there. So we do the colors from yellow to red. Where are we at yellow to red? Where is the most red, blood red, as one girl said, period red. I don't know what period red look like, but you probably ain't good. You probably ain't good. And they were all cracking up and laughing. And that's who talks first. So, you know, we do these talks in group. And we're trying to navigate like the spaces in which they are battling the exhaustion and fatigue, because they always are. And what I end up saying is like, when we finally get to do some good stuff for ourselves, when we finally get to enjoy or embrace or rejoice in the passion project, in the hobby, in the thing, motherfucker, you probably too tired to do it. Congratulations, you finally made it. You're probably burnt out and exhausted and kind of want to die. This is not a very happy podcast. I'm trying to validate some of you guys today, maybe by the stories. I'm trying to validate that a lot of people are going through this all the time. Their life is hard. In very intimate conversations with people that I trust, with clients I know that are tough enough to hear it, life is actually quite miserable, in my opinion. And there's moments of happiness and joy. Very few moments of ecstasy. A lot of moments of joy here and there, right? It's more frequent. No one's ever truly always happy. That's not a thing. You're not always truly happy. You're mostly content. You're mostly content, but you're mostly kind of anxious too, and like dealing with shit day to day. It's a kind of fucking miserable, my guy. Like existing. And you're just trying to make it to the next like vacation. But your vacation's like what, 2 weeks if you're lucky? Can you even afford the vacation? Again, depressing podcast. Why do I tell people this? Because I don't want to make them happy. I don't necessarily believe that happiness is like my ultimate goal as your therapist. My goal is to help you navigate the bullshit, to make it a little bit easier to where we can just be content. I just want to get you to content. And then there'll be more spurts and more bursts of happiness and joy and all that stuff. If I can help you navigate the horrificness of the world, the environment, the context, the economy, racism, misogyny, ableism, then maybe we can get to more joy and less self-hatred. But I can't control a bunch of other factors. I say life is tough. And you're also tough. And I don't know how long it's going to take for you to make it through. I hope all of you get the ending in which Kevin did, and he gets to enjoy his family and feel love and emotions and all that. I know a lot of you maybe want to choke out the people that have harmed you or suffocated you in some metaphysical way, metaphorical way. Sorry, my nose is so plugged up every time I do a pod now. I don't know what's going on. I think maybe it's this dusty ass shirt too. I washed all those shirts from the last pod. They're all washed. I'm not itching anymore. Pull those fucker out in 5 years. Right, so let's get back to the movie. You'd be like, Dr. Nas. Ooh, this is some good stuff. The cost, I wrote down the cost of conditional love, which we already talked about. Like, I love you when you perform. Navigated that. Again, the toxic masculinity, the boys never crying. We already hit on that. We talked about a little bit of the golden child and the responsible one. So some of them were the golden ones. Some of them were the responsible ones. That'd be Kevin. The forgotten one, maybe also Kevin as well too. But I wanted to dive into, before we get out of here, so I'm going to wrap things up. When you're watching a movie like this, I'm sure many of you see remnants of yourself or your family. It must be difficult, because for me, it's extremely difficult to see sad things like this and also know that I relate to some of it. The sadness, the pain, the anger, the hostility, the abuse. People always telling you who you are. And if you're masking all the time, they're always telling you subtly or overtly who you are, what you should be and act like. It's exhausting. I again would tell you to, as I've said multiple times, not let go of the joy and the creativity and the innocence that's inside. Continue to do the things when you're at home, when you can rest, if you can rest, that bring you that. The things that you can make and create or do or cook. The humans that provide you the peace. The animals that provide you the peace. And if you have to cocoon yourself away from society to take a break, I advise you to do it. Correction, I can't advise you. I would do it. Life is extremely difficult, and if you already burned the fuck out, why are you wasting time on miserable fucks like the dad in this movie? Focus on the brothers that loved each other. Focus on the humans that love you. Focus on yourself. If no one is there, focus on yourself. What does that mean? Figure out what it means. Write down what you need to focus on to make you feel better. Explore what you want to do for you and not for someone else. Explore if your relationships are conditional that you're in. Are they conditional? With your family, friends, your partner? How conditional are they? What are the conditions? What are you afraid of telling them or doing? If I don't do this, then they'll leave me. I would love for you to write that down. Write that down. If I tell my mom, hey, we got to go to the hospital. Hey, bro, I think we need to get on some anxiety meds. Are you afraid that they're going to freak out on you? Are you able to speak up for yourself? Or do you have to be the quiet church mouse? For those of you that are my clients, a lot of you fuckers text me a lot. It's fine. Sometimes some of you overtext me. But I don't want to be the one to put limitations on you. I will force you to figure out it on your own, and I will continue to engage because that's who I am, and I will not be the one to make you feel worthless. It will not be from me. But I hope that you have people that interact with you, all of you. Hope that you can find those things. Movie's really sad. If you want to have a really good cry, it's fantastic. If you're like, life's already too fucking sad, I'm not watching this, this ain't the one for you. This ain't. Yeah, those of you that already struggle with suicidality or self-harm, I would say this is not the movie for you. I know we've already talked about it. This ain't the movie for you. If you're a wrestling fan, this would be fantastic. If you have loved ones that have experienced this, it'd be good for you. If you're not too traumatized. I know I have a lot of clients that experienced a lot of death, a lot of grief, a lot of sadness throughout life and university. It's tough. And I think sometimes it's good to touch those feelings, right? To feel those again, but also to process them therapeutically. If you have a therapist, do that with them to see what comes up for you. I know a lot of you listening and some of my clients that are listening have lost a lot of people. I've had a lot of clients with loss in the last 6 months. Everything will be okay, kiddo. It'll be okay. I read the text. You're getting better. Continue to move forward. Continue to have the small celebrations of your loved ones, your animals, whatever it is. Continue to move forward, but never forget. Continue to embrace life the way in which your loved one would want you to. And make sure that when you see people that are hurting like these brothers, you do what the girlie did in the beginning. You sit down, you embrace them, you hug them emotionally and mentally, physically if you need to. Be more vigilant when people show you the deep sadness. I ain't saying take care of it. I ain't saying fix it. I ain't saying there sit with them for fucking 200 hours. A lot of you will do that stuff. You'll overhelp. Listen, support, refer. Listen, support, sit with them, hour talk, shoot the shit, help them navigate, but find the resources to make sure that they're in the right appropriate care or medication. Social work the shit. One of the key things, I guess, for today is not to get lost in helping these folks because you're already struggling with these things, is making sure you get them to where they need to be. Making sure that you don't cause these things to continue happening in life, though, with the people that you love. And if you see people doing wild shit, if you are safe, check them. You could save a life. When people are doing good by you, make sure you affirm it. When people check in on you or talk to you or actually ask how you're doing or give you a hug or support, or they cook your food, whatever, hey man, I appreciate you. Hey man, I love you. Hey man, that meant a lot to me. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for taking time out of your day to be with me. Thank you for body doubling this with me. Make sure you're affirming those good behaviors, especially with dumb boys like me. If any of you got any boys in your life, make sure you're affirming some of the good stuff. All right, you gotta make sure we're like dogs sometimes. You gotta make sure we get a little treat. And by treat, I don't mean nothing physical. I just mean like you gotta make sure you just affirm that behavior. You gotta behavior modify us. I think I hit some of the things that I wanted to. I am completely fine, folks. Right, I've had a lot of sadness in life and some clients with some stuff. I've navigated, and it's fine. And this will forever, podcast clients will forever make me better. I continue to grow every day. You get better or worse every day. The choice is yours. There is no such thing as stagnation. I will find reasons in which I got better every day. I will always find something. That's how I continue to move forward. You survive till you can finally look up and the world's not beating the shit out of you. You survive. You get better and better and better. You get stronger. You get more intelligent and wiser. You get a little bit more money. You guess what? And then you're burned out. But then you can rest. Continue to get better every day. I beg of you to have faith in yourself. This is how we're going to end this. Have faith in yourself. I don't know you. I don't know any of you. But if you made it here to me, then you are a strong son bitch. There's a difference between the word hope and faith. I want you to say it to yourself. I hope that this happens. I hope that I get a good grade. Whatever you want, say I hope. After you're done doing that, think about what you wanted and what you said you hoped for. Add in the word faith. This isn't a religious thing. I have hope that I'll get a good grade versus I have faith that I'll get a good grade. I have faith that my life will turn out correctly. Sounds much stronger, much more passionate. You know it will happen. Why? Because you're going to make it happen. Why? Because you make sure that the things happen in life, the things that you control. You can't control for a lot of things, but you have faith that you'll do the best to enact and do whatever you need to do to take care of business. Well, I got faith that you'll do that. We'll see if the rest of life falls in the line. But then you just modify. However long it takes, it takes. Those of us that are cursed, it takes a while. It takes a while. I have faith in you. My clients will be like, why? Because you've already proven to me and to yourself that you can do it. The question is simply just how long and how traumatic will it be? All right. I'm good. We're going to end the pod. Much love and appreciation to all of you. Remember to please take a look at all the resources that I have in the link tree. If you're looking for therapists and doctors, that's all there. Autism assessments, screeners, worksheets, whatever you want. It's all free. And remember, tag 2 people in this. Comment Iron Claw. Sad face. And then I'll ship you whatever the fuck you want. You just got to enter into the raffle. I'll put it all in an Excel sheet daily. And I'll shake it up. I'll figure out how to shake it up and like select someone later. And then we go from there. All right, everyone. Take care of yourselves. And if you can't, we're going to get you there. One day. Together. Peace, homies.